Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Metroid Prime. In the last episode, we defeated both the Omega Pirate and Meta Ridley. We got the Phazon suit, which renders us immune to... Wow! Funny you should say that. Renders us immune to blue Phazon. This is red Phazon that still hurts us. Apparently that's a thing. And here's something extremely weird. There's scans down here in the impact crater of Lumigex, which are Phazon-charged reptiles. Not really sure how they managed to make their way past the Chozo's super barrier that's supposed to keep all stuff out for all life. But yeah, now we enter the proper kind of, this is the Phazon core of the impact crater. And I just love the look of the impact crater. It is really cool. It looks corrupted, and it kind of like, it makes the point that like, the Phazon we're seeing outside, like the point of the red Phazon is that the blue stuff outside is only... Oh, there's fish on Metroid around, but I'm trying to ignore them. The kind of blue Phazon outside is only the tip of the iceberg. That's when the Chozo have gone to massive extent to contain the corruption. The kind of blue Phazon stuff is what you get out. Oh, fun fact, by the way, super missiles, power bombs kill a Metroid that's latched onto you in one, and I've got like 4 of them, so I'm just going to do that because I can't be asked to fight fish on Metroids because I hate fighting them. Once we come up here, there is actually... Wait, have I missed something? No, I haven't missed anything. Good. There's 2 ways out of this room, as you can see. The impact crater is pretty linear. This one is actually a save station, which is nice to have. One thing... Oh, that's not a save station. Oh, that's a lie. That's a missile station. There was actually a save station right at the beginning, and I missed it. I think. Was there? Maybe there's not. Oh. Yeah, there is. Actually, that's literally a save station right there where it says crater entry point. Oh, well. I'll be right. Hopefully. Dude, that looks really cool. There's kind of like those weird flaky fish thing. I don't know what they are, but they look cool. And one thing you'll have seen there briefly, which I kind of hadn't really mentioned much, is the fact that the Phazon suit has this weird kind of like glow around it. It almost looks like a heat haze surrounding it, and I think it's seriously cool. But like, I guess it's basically just the kind of like Phazon corruption has actually formed like a kind of protective layer around it. But as I say, heat haze is the best way I can really describe it. Oh no! Fuck it. So this is the thing. If it's latched onto you, use a super bomb. That will kill not only it, but all nearby Metroids. Very useful thing if you're like, because obviously each fish on Metroid turns into 2, so the way of getting rid of a lot of them is get one to grab onto and then powerbomb the fuck out of all of them. But as you can imagine, there's not really much in here. The Phazon core is the only real part of the impact crater that's of any sizable size. Weirdly enough, there's still like spider rails in here, but from the way they're kind of like twisted, you can imagine this was some kind of like Chozo mechanism that was literally right where the meteor struck, and so it kind of got twisted and then sealed in here when they kind of sealed off the whole crater and the impact thing as well. And that looks sinister, doesn't it? Let's head in. Welcome to the final boss of the game, and I think it's a really cool boss fight, and I think it's really good character design as well. No prizes for guessing what this thing's called, because it says at the top there, and it says at the top of every single video of this series, but indeed, this is Metroid Prime, highly evolved Phazon-producing life form. The aberration known as Metroid Prime is the source of Phazon, making it immensely powerful. A genetic flaw makes it susceptible to certain weapons for brief periods. Only its head is truly vulnerable. Other attacks are a nuisance. Offensively, Metroid Prime has a number of natural and mechanical weapons at its disposal. These include ultra-frigid breath, multi-missiles, snare beams, and particle wave projectors. Its massive strength and barbed carapace make it lethal in melee combat. Recommend maximum firepower when engaging this enemy. And like almost everything in this game, it's flavoured. So, it's in purple mode at the moment, which means once you can target it, let off a wave buster. That'll target into its face. And once it's dealt enough damage, it breaks and kind of stumbles back. Now hide behind one of these things and get the fuck out the way. Ah, it's changed colour. It's lemon now. So, once again, you're targeting the face. Shit, I don't want to be on the way. I want to be on the... No, power beam, damn it. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. When its head's up like that, you can't get a shot in because it's basically only those creepy glowing red eyes are vulnerable. You might be thinking, and you might be right, you might be thinking, Metroid Prime? She doesn't look much like a Metroid. she is a Metroid, 100%. But it's only kind of like inside. Basically, this is what a Metroid would look like if it had a massive freaking suit of armor that made it look like some kind of crazy crab. It's gone vanilla flavored now. I feel like I'm kind of ruining the moment slightly by calling them these flavors, but it's how I always think of them in my head. And now you have these little kind of tubes. So once you've damaged it enough, roll into the trench, and then hop up on the other side and face back at it again. I really enjoy this boss battle, and it's kind of like, oh, it's gone into lemon mode. It's good fun to be kind of like switching between the weapons and stuff like that. I would say for a lot of the weapons, use beam combos if you can. So like definitely super missile and wave buster, use them when you can. Flamethrower, use the flamethrower if you are in close combat with it. Otherwise, the flamethrower is not great at range, and ice spreader doesn't actually seem to do that much against it. But wave buster is so useful for like doing the continuous damage. Flamethrower is, but it doesn't tend to turn into strawberry mode. It's going down again. It doesn't tend to go into strawberry mode unless it's taken a fair bit of damage. I think it's more than 2/3 of its health before it'll start going strawberry. So I really need to call them by their names, but I'm not going to. I should, but I won't. Oh, it's pulling me in. Don't like this, don't like this, don't like this. Woohoo! Right, now it's gone strawberry. Okay, so clearly it's not 2/3 of its health. Probably 1/3 by the looks of it. Let's fire up the flamethrower. Wah! As you can see, the flamethrower is not as good at auto-targeting as the wave buster, but it is just more overtly powerful. Let's see if we can get into one of those things. There we go. I really like its like her crabby kind of arthropod exoskeleton insecty design. It's very much unlike a kind of Metroid, which is what I think is cool about it. Okay, an ice spreader to the face seemed to do some damage, and it's kind of stunned it in place. That was actually pretty cool. That actually got it all the way down to changing form in one. What kind are you gonna go? You've gone lemon. Yeah, that's the other thing. Its weapon form, is actually whichever weapon it uses is unrelated to the form it's currently in. It's not like it reminds me a lot, actually, this boss battle of the Titan Dweevil from Pikmin 2 that kind of like had different weapons based on different colors and stuff like that. But this is. And I suppose that had a kind of arthropody armored look to it as well. But this, I think, is actually cooler. Much as I always love character design in Pikmin, like. The enemy design in the Metroid Prime series is absolutely fantastic, and I still like. This is such a kind of cool concept for a boss battle. If you like chasing it through this like impact crater, this game is freaking 13 years old. I was saying this a few episodes ago. It doesn't. Oh bollocks! Well, I fired a super missile at it, and it was grape is what I said. Purple was. Oh, I thought it switched to a wave beam. Yeah, basically. This game doesn't still look amazing, but it looks freaking good. And if you imagine what it was like in 2002, it was impressive. We're actually running fairly low on missiles, but hey, what are missiles for if not using in combat? If you've been following the guide and you've gone to the point of getting 250 missiles, yeah, might as well use them at every damn opportunity you get. As you'll have seen as well, there are these little kind of like blobs that she fires out every now and again. Those, when shot, they'll kind of slowly move towards you, but when shot enough, they will release power-ups like missiles, which you can use the charge beam to kind of bring towards you. She's gone into grape mode, so let's fire up the wave buster. Occasionally, fuck. That's the annoying thing. Like, if you fire a super missile or, like, start up the wave buster or something like that, which then uses up missiles, and then she changes form just before you hit her, and it's slightly annoying. Like, she's going to change now, isn't she? No, actually got her right in the eye sockets. And then we can do the old switcheroo. We go over just as she goes under. No, the other way around. But still. Right, what color are you going to be? I'm ready. White. Excellent. Vanilla, even. Let's get an ice spreader in on her face and see what happens. Ha! That's going to kill her! Yeah! For some reason, it doesn't automatically start the cutscene here. You have to go your own end to inspect the body. Did you think it would be that simple? Another scan here. Final scan in the game, hopefully. This is the Metroid Prime core essence. Scans indicate that the Phazon energy form of Metroid Prime is invulnerable to all conventional weapons. Only attacks from our Phazon-fused arm cannon will damage it. It generates pools of Phazon when it attacks. Use these to fuel your suit's Phazon weapon system. The entity can also spawn Metroids to assist it in battle, rendering itself invisible when it does so. Hey! 100% of a logbook! So that's awesome. All we've got to do is beat her, and then we'll be full. So you might as well basically stay on the power beam. This is why I wasn't too fussed about wasting missiles in the earlier part as well, because nothing can harm it there, as it says, other than supercharged Phazon. For now, her main attack is this... Sorry, I've got a really bad cold. That's why I'm recording all these in like a massive chunk, because I can feel myself getting worse and worse, and I want to get the rest of Metroid Prime done before I die. Right, it spawned a pool of Phazon, and now turned itself invisible. So, let's bring up the X-ray visor. And she's just there, floating around. What we need to do is stand in that puddle of Phazon. As we do... Wait, where the fuck's the puzzle of Phazon? We had a puzzle... There we go, puddle of Phazon. Can't really see it in the X-ray spectrum so well. Hyper mode! And that's indeed the only way of damaging it, is the Phazon beam. That actually came as part of the Phazon suit. She's going to kind of stay in X-ray mode for now. And do her same kind of like attacks of just basically this ground quake and the occasional summoning of Metroids. But yeah, that came as part of the Phazon suit. And now she's spawned a puddle of Phazon and has disappeared. She's now gone into the thermal spectrum. Scientifically, this doesn't check out. Like, I don't know why you would kind of like, how you would move from being invisible except to X-rays and then suddenly radiating heat or not. It doesn't make a lot of physics sense. But hey, none of this game makes physics sense. These things are enemies that drain the life force. So I ain't going to question them on physics exactly. And... oh, nope. Yeah, the core essence is a strange boss, I think. Whereas I love the kind of spider form Metroid Prime boss, this form is slightly odd because its only attack is this ground quake, which is ludicrously easy to dodge. And so you just end up... it's not as bad as Ridley. So now it's made the Phazon puddle appear and disappear. That's onto Metroid, and disappeared, and gone back into the visible spectrum. And from now on, it will cycle the spectrums. Let's see what the crazy attack we've been doing actually looks like, though. The arm cannon gets all corrupted and blue, and we fire this terrifying blue laser at it. There are other Metroids around, but focus everything on Metroid Prime. As wouldn't surprise you to know, she's your kind of like main target here. And yeah, she cycles between... whenever she spawns a pool of Phazon, she cycles between the spectrums in order. Visible, then X-ray, then thermal, so like infrared, and then kind of back again. And yeah, once you've kind of done more than I think it's a third of her health, then every time she spawns a Phazon pool, she'll spawn 2 Metroids with it. Usually a Official Metroid and a Hunter Metroid. I've got enough health that I'm literally just going to completely ignore them. She should spawn a puddle soon. Nope, more of the shockwave. Like, it's a similar thing I have with Ridley. I wouldn't mind this boss battle if it was actually really kind of like at all of a challenge, but it's utterly not. Like, it's literally just wait for the chance to hit and do it, but like, when you're not got the chance to hit, the chance of her doing any damage to you is extremely low. Also, yeah, the kind of hyper mode beam, the Phazon beam, wow. Let's actually talk about the Phazon beam, because it never reveals it in-game particularly, but you get the Phazon beam as part of the Phazon suit. But you only get it while standing in puddles of Phazon, and apparently only the puddles of Phazon that Metroid Prime spawns counts. Like the kind of random bits of Phazon in the Phazon mines that you stand in don't get you the Phazon beam. But yeah, it's the kind of corruption of the arm cannon that comes with the corruption of the suits. And that's kind of what that was, if you were wondering. But yeah, I'm just kind of holding B to use it. It's you don't have to charge or anything, so it makes it kind of... it makes the chance you have got to hit Metroid Prime very easy. She's spawning that, so let's go thermal. She spawned 2 Metroids, as I say, but basically, focus on her in these moments, and chances are the other Metroids will get in the way and probably get killed anyway. There we go, they've exploded already. Because, oh, you little fucker! Oh, I swear, if she clings on with 1 health now, I'm going to be so annoyed. Where's she gone? Oh, is this still actually got... oh, no. Oh, she'll be an X-ray now, won't she? Oh, no, she's still on thermal. Well, she should actually be back in... oh, no, she's just gone into thermal now. Basically... you can do up to 1/5 of her health each time she drops a Phazon thing if you are like maximally efficient with using the puddle. So usually it takes 6 rounds of damage to finish her off. Any more than that and it gets kind of annoying. Well, it's mildly annoying anyway, but also I as an LP start running out of things to say. So, 2 efficient Metroid this time, so let's wait for her to hop visual, and then... boosh!
star shines in the universe. The bounty hunter, Samus Aran. What future and fate await her?
Worth noting at this point, this view of Samus with the helmet off you only get if you 100% of the game. Hope you are following along with me. That's a lie, you only need 80% for this. Correction. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Metroid Prime 1. Gives the whole trilogy credits here, but yeah! That was shorter than I was expecting, 18 episodes. I think that's because I think of it as a big game, but so much of it is backtracking that I cut out like probably about 4 or 5 episodes worth of content at least. In terms of like length-wise, I cut out at least 2 hours or something like that along it. It's been good though. Like I've really enjoyed this one. About I think the middle time, I got a bit. Basically, I couldn't record it for a while after Stardust, and I kind of got off it a bit there. But then I came back on it, and it was really good. And I enjoyed it. A weird thing at the end there you might have noticed, I guess they were originally planning to do a run away from the impact crater before it completely collapses thing, because it's like crater collapse imminent, escape now, and then just plays the cutscene of you immediately being teleported out. So I guess there was supposed to be a running out of the crater thing, that, like at the beginning on the frigate Orpheon, but then they just kind of like dropped that for whatever reasons. It's also, I don't know, like it was envisioned clearly as the part of a kind of first part of a trilogy, and there have been some hints towards what happens in future games, and I guess anyone who's played those games will have picked up on them. Anyone who hasn't, I'm not sure if you did or not, but I do plan to go through all 3 eventually, in case you're wondering. Comment on this, please. If you... Essentially, when I'm starting the first game of a series, which I've done a number of times on my channel, I like people to comment if they want me to do the future games, so I can kind of prioritize it. Like, I'm not going to be doing Echoes for at least a few months anyway, even if everyone says do it now. I've got other stuff planned in that time, but the more people, I guess, comment saying, I'd really like to see you doing Echoes, the higher Echoes will kind of start moving up my priorities list, I suppose. I'd also at this point like to do what I always do, is have a little kind of shout out to, specifically to Metroid.retropixel.net and Metroid Wikia as invaluable sources of information for this, especially Metroid Retropixel for having it, because that's where I got the maps from I used in the visualizers. Immensely useful. Couldn't have made this LP what it was without those guys. Additionally, K_Court and his 100% walkthrough on game FAQs was the kind of what I used for the vague structuring of the most efficient way to go through it. It was some of my own research, but the groundwork was laid by him 100%, and well, her, maybe, I don't know what K_Court is, but again, could not have done it really without that helping me along, so big thanks kind of go out there. And yeah, thanks to you for watching, viewer, whether you just watch this episode or the whole thing, it's been appreciated. As ever, I will be doing after this actually one more bonus episode, because there's a few things I want to talk about that I couldn't have talked about through the LP because they would have been spoilers for Metroid Prime and the final boss. And there's more stuff we can show off, specifically the kind of trilogy bonuses, because we've been getting those little kind of tokens throughout it. And they also do some stuff and unlock some cool like side little things that are kind of post-game content. So I'll be doing a bonus episode that will come out some point next week, and we'll show them off. But then I think I'm gonna, well, first things first. And there you go, bam. Final percent, 6 hours and done in 100%. 6 hours, so that's 18 episodes. Maybe that much wasn't cut out. I've unlocked type mode difficulty, which is cool. It says it's been 6 hours, but that would make it 20 minutes an episode would make that 18 episodes with the not cutting anything out. So that time I can't be completely right. Maybe it cuts out cutscenes from that. But yeah, I've unlocked hyper mode difficulties. There's normal, veteran, and hyper mode. So that's RC1. To get Samus in the final cutscene with her helmet off, and in that cutscene with the helmet off, you get 80%. So, I hear you asking, what do you get if you get 100%? Like I just said, this is a Marvel film. Gotta love those post-credit scenes. That final bit there, well, I guess you probably saw in the final scene that Metroid Prime kind of ripped Samus's Phazon suit off foreshadowing. That will make a lot more sense in future games, of course, what the kind of implications of that are. But that final scene you only see if you 100% of the game. All scans, all missiles, all power bombs, and all energy tanks. So that's the reward you get. It's rare for games to actually reward you for 100%ing it, so it's nice when it happens. Anyway, that'll be it for now. And in my standard kind of like tradition, I'm going to drop a trailer for what's going to come next. And this trailer has a very special place in my heart. It's shit quality because it's a very old trailer and this is before the age of YouTube, so there are no good copies of it anywhere. So unfortunately it's not going to look great quality, but it's also not very representative of the game it is. But anyone who knows that game well will understand the significance of the trailer and why that specific trailer has a very special place for me. This next game is it's probably been my most requested game to Let's Play, and so basically after this I'm going to upload, through next week I'll be uploading some episodes of Mario Party and some other stuff, and basically starting in November, specifically I think it's on the 1st of November I guess it will be the new series. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy a little trailer of what's to come. Good day.